What is up, crypto fam? It's Herbie's Breadloaf here. Are you tired of watching 30-minute, 45-minute, 60-minute YouTube videos just to find some of those alpha leaks? Well, I was. So that's why I made 5-Minute Alpha, a series of YouTube videos that gives you juicy alpha in your face in 5 minutes or less. Happy Monday, Crypto Gang. It's Herbie's Breadloaf here with another episode of 5-Minute Alpha. Today we're going to be talking about Diamond Bank DAO. It is a ohm fork, well they call it an ohm knife, on the Avalanche blockchain, and I'm going to be talking about what this protocol is, what are the different things that it entails, and why I am going to be personally avoiding this DAO. I do want you guys to realize, when I look at protocols, I'm looking at them very analytically, very critically. I want to make these big plays, these 5x, 10x, 100x plays, but again, I want to do it in a safe way, right? It doesn't matter if you make 10x if the protocol rugs on you before you can get your profits out. So be safe out there. There's a lot of scams, a lot of rugs, a lot of projects that honestly don't try to do anything bad, but they just die. And so with this, I want to take a look at what parts really stick out to me, what are the red flags, what are the warning signs, and so I'm going to take you guys through that. So here's our agenda today. We're going to be looking at this is an ohm fork with a very high rebasing APY. I'm going to be going through all 5 of these through their protocol. They give very vague details about their revenue streams. They do a lot of name dropping and almost sort of like gimmicky stuff. If you've ever seen like a car salesman type of motive. And so they're also not audited. They have very vague tokenomics, and they're really trying to do a lot. They're trying to do too much, in my opinion. And so let's go ahead and go through it. So this is their website. It's actually very nicely designed. They're very active on their socials, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. And so right here you can see innovative hybrid knife protocol. And so, the founder, Astro, he's done a couple of AMAs. He's actually very well spoken. He answers questions straight to the point. He's very charismatic. And so that can go a long way. But at the same time, we've recently seen how the whole Wonderland Time protocol is played out with Daniele Sesta. Daniele is also a very charismatic and sort of genuine person, and so that didn't really work out too well. So here on the front page of their website, they have their flight map, which kind of takes you through what the team has been doing. Again, some of these, it's very detailed, but also there's not a lot in here, right? There's not a lot of detail about what the protocol is actually going to be doing. They talked about different core team, hiring marketing experts, analyzing things, coding team, and so you can read through this. It is very elaborate, again, but some things I want to point out. They talk about Diamond Pad, which is their launch pad, Diamond Mining, which is their plan to create miners, so crypto mining devices. If you think about the Bitcoin mining ASICs and the Ethereum mining things that you can buy out there, this is what they're trying to create. And they talked about mining different tokens all at once and reducing environmental impact. So that's something that's interesting that we'll talk about. And also nodes. So right now it's node season. Before it was ohm season, all the ohm forks died, and then now we're in node season. So they're kind of jumping on this bandwagon of node season, which is, that's reasonable. You gotta hop on the train while it's hot. And so they did multiple AMAs, there's no pre-sales, no dilution. And so actually the founder, Astro, talks about this a lot. He talks about how you have to fight dilution. But he doesn't really talk about how they're going to fight dilution. He repeats it over and over and over again. And I guess what he's getting at is these token burns, right? So he's talking about in different ways in the protocol, they're going to be using their money basically to buy back their own tokens and sending them to a burn wallet. So that causes deflationary pressure. And we'll kind of look through, what APR they're giving, and is this deflationary pressure going to really combat that APR, that dilution through rebasing. And so some other things, they talk about one Lambo, hilarious, they're giving away $1 million, they're going to put one person, booking with SpaceX to Mars. Again, these are very gimmicky things, and this kind of almost comes out to me as kind of car salesman-y tactics. Alright, so this is their website, just released today. I mean, look at this APY, let's see right here. This is in the millions, this is in the billions, so 629 billion%. If you actually look at their stake, you're getting 36% ROI in 5 days. I mean, that's absurd, right? So it really strikes me that they're giving away 36% ROI in 5 days. And so you're going to have to do a lot of burning of tokens to even get near that. And so let's kind of look through their docs. You guys know when I look at a protocol, I like to focus on their documentation. And theirs is, well, what can I say? Their documentation is quite lacking. And so they have a lot of this kind of fancy, gimmicky words, like this is a knife protocol, which, I mean, that's all great and nice, but when you actually get into what they have, you know, their article, they talk about their Medium article, again, which is very sparse. They have this flight map, and really nothing else. They talk about $1 million giveaway, and they have links to their Discord and Twitter. And so there's actually videos on here that they posted on YouTube with their founder, Astro. Again, very charismatic guy, but really he doesn't talk about what they're actually going to do. He makes lots of analogies to like Apple and kind of different business analogies, which is great. You know, I think that's important to kind of bring those analogies from traditional finance into crypto because it helps people understand. But he doesn't really share what he's going to do with the protocol to keep it alive. And so if we move on to the FAQ right here is pretty much an ohm fork FAQ, right? They talk about 3.3, they talk about this game theory that we've all seen before with ohm forks. They talk about rebasing and APY versus APR. Again, this is very, very familiar to ohm and ohm forks. I'll let you guys read through this if you haven't seen it before. They talk about minting and bonding and staking as well. And this is very interesting, right? So this is pretty much the only thing that I could get close to in terms of tokenomics. They don't have a page about tokenomics, which is almost always a red flag to me, right? They talk about no tokens to their team. They talk about no pre-sale, always talking about how they're going to prevent dilution. But again, they don't have tokenomics. What is their max supply? What is their current circulating supply? Those are things that, as an investor, I want to know. And so something that's interesting is that they're going to have a tax on sales, right? So 14% tax, that's relatively high. I mean, that is going to prevent people from selling. If you have to pay a 14% tax every time you sell. 10% of that tax goes directly to burn, and in an AMA, Astro actually talks about that this goes immediately to burn, so it's not kind of scheduled burns like other protocols have. I actually really like this. I think that is a useful mechanism. And then 4% tax to the innovation fund, and this is interesting. In one of his AMAs, Astro talks about how when the price action is going down, they're going to use this 4% to do more burns. And then when their price action is not going down, they're going to use this to invest in different innovations for the project. And so what are those different innovations? If you go down here, they talk about complementary projects. Again, they talk about this Diamond pad, which is pretty much ideal launch pad. There's no actual projects right now that they've launched through their launch pad, so something that's still in the works. They're talking about mining, which they have absolutely no details about. In an AMA, he did talk about mining helium, which is very interesting, right? But how much helium are you going to get to be able to fight 36% ROI in 5 days? I mean, you're going to have a tremendous number of helium miners. Again, we haven't seen this amazing multi-coin miner that they are creating, and if it really does use less energy, like they claim, that it can mint multiple tokens at the same time, that is a game changer. You know, if they actually come through with this, that's a game changer. But for right now, this is all talk and no product. And so for me, it makes me feel a little bit cautious, right? And so that kind of goes back to our different points. These different 5 points, they're very vague on this revenue stream, unsustainable, APY. And then again, they're trying to do too much, right? So they're doing mining, they're doing a launch pad, they're doing nodes. They're also trying to do an exchange and a swap. So, you know, that's interesting. They're trying to do what AnyChain or Multichain is doing with a cross-chain token swap, or ElkNet, if you guys have done that before. They're also trying to do a stablecoin. I mean, if you look over here, they're trying to do everything, right? Crypto gaming, NFTs, exchange, nodes, mining, launchpad, Diamond Pro, which, you know, it's very similar to Olympus Pro. And so that kind of comes to this last point of they're really trying to do too much. And often I see that protocols that actually try to do too much end up failing most of the time. And so that's really a red flag to me, especially since there's no details in terms of, no concrete details in terms of what these revenue streams are going to be. And so let's kind of keep going through their different parts of their docs. We talked about staking and minting and Diamond Pad as well. And I do want to show you that they are KYC'd, which does make me feel a little bit better. But again, you know, a project doesn't have to rug on you to still die. The project could just die naturally on its own. I want to bring up their flight map one more time. They kind of talk about going to space, going to SpaceX, and they actually name drop this multiple times. So if you go to their dashboard, they talk about, oh, you know, our team, there's 2 hedge fund business owners, there's a Bank of America VP, which actually Astro says is his dad, who was a Bank of America VP for 30 years, there's a SpaceX engineer, and so they drop all of these different names, right? Bank of America has credibility, SpaceX has credibility, hedge fund, even though sometimes in crypto hedge funds are referred to as evil, it does have an air of credibility. And so, you know, this is trying to garner respect, right? They're trying to manufacture this respect, this reliability. But again, how do we know this is true? We have zero idea if any of this is true, right? Multiple times in his AMA, he talks about how he's created multiple manufacturing businesses, and this might be true, which I would love it if it was true, but we just don't know, right? We haven't seen any proof. And so I'm constantly a skeptic, and I would love to be proven wrong. I mean, I think if Diamond DAO takes off, that's great, but you know, 99%, it's probably going to be a pump and dump. If you look at this price action, you know, this is going to be great, but it's going to go the same way as OHM. So if we look at OHM right here, so this is OHM DAI, and if we go to the daily and zoom out, I mean, this is, whew, that is a drop, guys. And so, you know, I'm worried, right? I'm worried. If we look at Diamond Bank, this thing is just cruising right now. It is going up and up and up. Well, it's gone up and then kind of stabilized. But again, you know, where could this go? I'm worried this is going to go straight down like this. And so I would be careful, guys. You know, if you do invest a small bag, do your own research. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but I just kind of wanted to take you guys through when I'm appraising a new protocol, what I'm looking for, what are the things that give me pause, and what things that I try to make sure that I think through so that I don't get rugged or I don't invest in a project that is eventually going to die and I'm going to lose money on. Because pretty much why we're here is to make money. And so if you invest in these projects, these kind of poorly thought out projects that don't have concrete details on how they're going to make you money, you know, you end up losing money. So I would say if you do want to ape in, get in quickly, get out quickly, have good entries and exits, and try to be safe with how you play it. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Shout out to Wing Roxas and Crypto Investor in the last comments, inspiring me to make this video. If you guys have any protocols that you want videos on, please leave them in the comment section below. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like this video, hit that notification bell so that you'll see any new videos coming out. Have a great day.